Yeah.
Hello, we are live here on the Idle Thumbs channel on Twitch TV to stream XCOM with Evan Lahti from PC Gamer and JP LeBreton from Double Fine. I'm Chris Remo, also from Double Fine, and here we are. Hello, welcome to the Idle Thumbs Saturday morning stream again. So JP is going to be driving this, at least for now. Evan may jump on later as well. How do you want to start?
Yeah, okay. Cool. So yeah, maybe we should go to... Yeah, do we want to talk about XCOM a little bit first, or...
Well, it was released in 1994.
Yep.
Start there.
I remember that.
Let me close the window.
Classic DOS game. It's actually... It was meant to be a sequel to a game called Laser Squad.
Yes.
Which I think was released in 88 or 89. I didn't actually play that,
Yep.
but...
Which in turn was a sequel to, sort of a semi-sequel to Rebel Star.
Right.
For like the, I don't know, probably for the ZX Spectrum.
Yeah,
I
From
don't
the
know.
Gollop
Yeah, and it's the Gollop
Exactly.
brothers, and those were the guys who drove this project. Yeah. So.
Set in 1998. Modern day 1998.
That's right. Yeah. There's going to be an in-game timer here that's showing what what the fictional date is, and that date has long since passed. Yes, I worked on the 2K Marin XCOM, but I cannot.
That's the first-person shooter one for people who aren't familiar.
Yes. Yeah. And I will not be saying anything about that. Hopefully, 2K doesn't mind that I'm telling people to go buy another one of their games. So yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, Evan's been playing a lot of the release build of the new Firaxis version of XCOM, which is much more of a deliberate successor to the game we're about to play.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can have him on the podcast soon to talk about that, because I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
What I played at PAX was really cool.
Yeah.
But
You should be.
this is the real deal that we're about to play right now.
Cool. Should we go to screeny?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do people want to see the intro? Because the intro for this game is kind of important, in not because it's a stellar piece of cinematic PC gaming, but it's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, let's watch the intro. Why not?
Okay, so can we quit out of the application and restart it, and it will this will kind of work? Or, yeah.
We can try. Let's put this back on full cam while we do that. We'd have to re-add it to every scene, actually. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Let's actually not do that.
Okay,
Sorry, we're not going to say the intro.
Just look up the intro for XCOM online. It features an alien lording, so that's very important. And then some hilarious comic book dudes that we can see in this image right here.
Mm-hmm.
Some image comic book dudes specifically. They're just so 90s-y.
Yeah.
True.
They are dark comic book characters from the 1990s.
They
sure.
absolutely are. Yeah.
They're gritty.
Yeah. So. Okay. Cool. All right. So yeah, we're gonna start here. I vote we play on veteran, because veteran, I don't know, I'm not amazing at it, and we'll probably get our butts kicked just enough.
You're not a genius?
No, I'm not a superhuman. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the first decision that you have to make is you have to choose where your first base is going to go, and right from the start, they're just hitting you in the face with a decision that maybe you don't know, but is actually super consequential. Mm-hmm. Early tips for base placement: you kind of want to be over a large section of land, just so that you have the chance to pick up alien craft on radar and then shoot them down, and they'll land on land where you can do the missions to salvage and all that kind of stuff. So then the decision is kind of do you want to be, in the middle of centrally located in Asia or Africa, or do you want to kind of build in the middle of North America? You'll have a lot more shot down over water things early. I don't know. Let's be wacky and build a desert base.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia, Iraq.
Yeah.
Great.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, what hilarious reference shall we?
We have to give people about 10 seconds for the chat to catch up to what we're doing here, but is that going to fit?
No, it's not going to fit.
I think you could maybe you could do it if you took out the.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty strong.
All right. Yeah.
Some power.
Okay, so now at the point that we've placed it, time starts running, and we can see that it's January 1st, 1999. Bill Clinton is still president, and so yeah, and so this screen right here is what we refer to, and all the subscreens that come out of it are what's referred to as the geoscape, where we can go into the base and do a whole bunch of stuff to manage our base and our troops and stuff. And then there's also things like the UFOpedia, which is just this massive. It's like the Civilopedia, you know. It's just a big reference. And then there's like these graphs.
I want to really quickly call out the chat. People are suggesting WizCom. The base, which is pretty strong.
That's pretty good. Okay, so if we build a second base, it will absolutely be WizCom.
Yeah.
The graphs are dumb, and I don't like, nobody really uses them, but and then you can see funding, which is a reminder that you're kind of having to make all these people, all these different countries happy by justifying your existence and fighting the alien threat and being successful enough that these countries won't withdraw their funding or enter into a secret pact with the aliens, which is something that happens. Okay, so the time is paused in this main base management screen here, and we've got like just some starting stuff that that is just good for a base. So at this point, like, I don't know, I'm going to start like doing, and feel free to like stop me or comment on this, but I'm doing like just the kind of strategic type stuff that I've been doing for, I guess, like 18 years now. It's just like stuff that I know works, and I'm not like a super power player of this, so there's going to be, like min-max strategies that I'm completely blind to, and I don't know, like I think this will be more enjoyable if we kind of like fail a little bit, and like die a few times maybe, like what happened in the FTL stream. So, so that said, I'll go through and do some of the stuff that I always do when I'm starting a new game. So the base starts off with just a small radar system, which is only going to pick up a certain amount of a certain surface area of the globe for alien craft that are flying by for you to shoot down. So I'm going to immediately start building a large radar system, because why would you not? I'm going to start building an alien containment facility, because eventually we will be capturing live aliens, they'll die if we don't have a place to contain them. They can't just sleep in your barracks or your storage closets. So this is a hilarious thing about XCOM, is that like so many of the little choices that you end up making in this game take on a certain narrative resonance. So for that, and really kind of for that reason, and for a secret reason that maybe we don't want to spoil yet, I'm going to build the alien containment just off the hangar here, just because it's like, well, they're going to be keeping like live aliens in here and like interrogating them, and that's super creepy. And so I want to keep it like away from the living quarters and stuff. And just the idea, like even just making that decision on the basis of like this subjective, like, oh, well, you don't want to be sleeping right next door to where the frickin', gray aliens are being stored. So yeah, that's hilarious, and that's the kind of decisions you make in XCOM.
It would be hard to sleep at night hearing all those, probes going in alien.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Aliens being tortured, and some really dubious ethical territory we're in here.
Indeed.
Okay, and I'm also going to build some living quarters, because we're going to max it out pretty quickly with
more soldiers.
Yeah, with some more soldiers. Let's get a few on backup, because as it turns out, they're one of the cheapest things you can buy in the game, and also scientists. Because one of the big things you do, in addition to going out and fighting missions, you're doing research on the tech that you recover, so that you can ultimately manufacture new weapons and use salvaged alien weapons and stuff. And that's basically the game's power curve, is that you learn more about the aliens, you start seeing new types of aliens and alien technology, and eventually you learn enough to be able to take the fight to them and start invading their bases and eventually win the game. So yeah, okay, so let's look at our soldiers here. You start off with like 8 soldiers, and yeah, they each have a good old PC game stat page.
I want to point out something that someone in chat subs said. If you're playing it from zero, surely you wouldn't know about aliens or the need to build some containment, which someone else points out the name of the game is UFO Defense, so you might know about aliens, but what she says is generally true, in that you don't know anything about what you're supposed to be doing in this game when you load it up. I remember the first time I loaded up XCOM, I was so lost. I really just hadn't.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's baffling, and that's why I'm glad that we're able to do this, because it's I'm sure that there's some really great playthrough videos on YouTube, but just knowing like the playbook. Like I have this email that I've sent out to a whole bunch of people, like former coworkers and just people who it's kind of like the beginner's survivor guide to XCOM. It's like, here's the stuff that would take you several fairly frustrating games of just getting your butt stomped and here's the stuff that you would learn from that. UFO, the XCOM wiki, UFOpedia, also has like a whole bunch of really good starting tips and stuff.
I just want to quickly interject here and say that as a friend and coworker of JP's, it is absolutely true. The kind of thing he does is send out an email that says XCOM beginners tips strategy. Yeah. That is the sort of thing that JP will do.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'll post it somewhere. I'll put it up on like a public text pad or something so that people can see it. And I'm sure the strategies are not like super high level or anything, but it's just stuff that makes the beginning of the game a little more pleasant and make you feel like you have a bit of a leg up. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, one more thing. Sorry if I keep cutting in.
Yeah, sure.
Someone said, "Can I buy this game?" This game is available on Steam for not very much money, probably $5 or so.
Totally, yeah.
And we're just running it straight from Steam. We changed a couple like screen resolution settings, but the actual game runs perfectly fine through a DOSBox installation that Steam has already set up when you get it. So it's super easy to run on a modern computer from that version. This is weirdly the European version of the game that's called UFO Enemy Unknown.
Enemy Unknown, yep.
Which is interesting tidbit. They so this game shipped in with 2 different titles depending on where you lived, either XCOM UFO Defense or UFO Enemy Unknown. And the new Firaxis version of the game, they basically picked one title and one subtitle from between the 2 of those. So the new game is called XCOM Enemy Unknown, which takes the American title and the European subtitle. So that's a cool little nod to the game's heritage.
And it's pretty clever because it's recognizable to both groups then.
Exactly,
yep. Schmott.
Sorry, go ahead, JP.
By the way, the Europeans definitely got the cooler box art for UFO Enemy Unknown. It's just this freaky alien monster that, I don't know, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at, we're looking at our soldiers here, and soldiers have stats, and, so something that I do that isn't like, it doesn't give you like a real leg up or anything strategically, but it's just, I don't know, it's one of those habits I picked up, 15, 18 years ago or whatever, is that I rename, like, these people, one thing that's cool about XCOM is that, like, you have a an integrated male and female fighting force, and, it doesn't really impact stats or anything, and it sounds like they're, like, the Firaxis XCOM is also, following through with that, where they have, like, lady soldiers and stuff, so that's cool.
Yes.
And unfortunately, really what that means is that everybody just kind of dies equally, it's kind of like the Alien universe, where it's like, yep, integrated fighting force, but everybody is just cannon fodder for these horrible monsters that we're about to fight. Okay, so what I do, what I was going to say is, like, my one tactic I have here is that I look at people's stats, and then I change their last name based on what their most remarkable stat is. So the ones that I really tend to look at early on here are firing accuracy, because this game is almost all ranged combat, and the ability to hit the broadside of a barn is super significant. So I kind of like their firing accuracy right off the bat. It also determines how much that stat is going to grow. So this guy, for instance, has a pretty nice firing accuracy. So I'm gonna my little set of names here is that I change people's last names based on, and this guy has a pretty rubbish firing accuracy, but he has a very high reaction time. And that is kind of worth something. So here's what I name people with a high reaction time, because they can be counted on to like take snapshots at aliens that cross the field of view during the alien turn.
Right.
So it's like being on Overwatch or whatever.
I want to know, Evan, your reaction to this, because I'm not the biggest fan of this.
Well, yeah.
See, predilection on JP's part. I want to know what your reaction to this is.
Yeah, I feel like the same effect might be achievable with. Most people when they play XCOM, it's sort of natural to name these characters, these soldiers, as your best friends or something, or your coworkers, or celebrities and things like that. And I think it's sort of an easy thing to get the same effect, and like over time you're learning about.
Now that's insidious, because that means what you're suggesting potentially is actually naming them according to opinions you have of those people.
I never named them after friends because I knew they were going to die after the first mission. So there's that. It's true. And like the thing that I realized, I started doing this, back when I was first playing it. But since then, I've realized that, like, it's kind of the first step of stripping away these people's essential humanity in a way that is actually kind of, like, has an interesting, Verhoeven Starship Troopers vibe, I don't know. It's just kind of part of how I conceptualize the game, because the thing is, like, one of these poor scabs is going to survive, they're going to survive having the entire rest of their squad killed off, and they're going to be there when when you beat the game at the very end, and so you're like, oh yeah, Mark Sniper has been with me since the beginning. Or maybe he hasn't, maybe it's just like, it's just like a rotating cast. But yeah.
But I like
so I don't know.
I like the idea. It's sort of a good technique of caring about your soldiers, I think. If there are people or you recognize or you have like some personal value with, I find myself being a little bit more careful with, I don't know, my girlfriend
as opposed to JP, who's taking the most utilitarian possible
approach. It is it's a very utilitarian min-max thing. Also, actually there's a practical reason that I started doing this in the first place, and that's just that while you're in a mission environment, you can see all of their kind of like transient stats, like morale, health, stamina, time units, but you don't see all these other ones, and I needed, like, without going in, I wanted a quick way without going into each person's stat screen and reminding myself, oh yeah, this is the guy who has a decent firing accuracy. I'm going to use them to make a tough shot. It was just like a shorthand, that saved a little bit of, so that's kind of like, a, strategic, tactic warrant smooth. But honestly, this is just kind of an idiosyncrasy. So let's totally name this whatever the heck people want. Yeah.
Well, someone says JP stop being boring.
Boring and name one of the soldiers. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well.
Okay. All right. Actually, JP Sniper, I am 100% down.
JP Sniper. JP Sniper brand Tabasco.
You've got to put periods in front of. You got to put J period P, because then you sound like a weird industrialist or something.
JP Sniper. Yeah. The
industrialist, absolutely.
Or
Well, I noticed in the mission roster, it seemed like we had like a brother and sister. They had two identical last names, or maybe they're cousins. I don't know. They're adopted.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
You're
right.
Yeah.
I love the idea of preserving that.
Yeah.
Jungo and
totally.
Sumi,
yeah. Okay. All right. So Sumi.
Do they share any attributes?
So Sumi does not have
genetically passed. Yeah.
No, they. See, this is clearly the game. Just
Jungo's the more talented.
Yeah, Jungo's the better marksman. So
also name a character Evan's girlfriend to add drama.
Oh man. That would work.
Also, speaking of naming things after your friends, I want to say a really cool thing that the guys who made FTL did to really capitalize on that in their Kickstarter was to offer a tier where if you donate at that tier in their Kickstarter, you get to name one of the randomly selected crew members after yourself. And so Nick Brecken and Steve Gaynor and I, if you listen to our podcast Idle Thumbs, you would remember those people as former hosts on it, and we all have characters named after us in the game, and so we've been getting already a bunch of
scoops
Twitter messages from people who have been playing with our characters who just randomly popped up in their crew when they started the game with started off with Remo and he immediately died in a fire, or Steve was Nick. The most amazing one is Nick was someone's captain and was whittled down to him being the last remaining crew member, and made it through several sectors alone, battling pirates himself before eventually going out in a blaze of glory, which is pretty good.
That's heroic.
But
I actually had a Remo yesterday in my playthrough.
Oh yeah? Nice. Yeah. What happened to him?
You did well, you're my
Remo unit.
Oh, cool.
I'm afraid it ended poorly, but...
Oh, well. That's kind of the unfortunate way that
it means you're going to die a lot. And this is kind of the same thing. So, here's a guy with a good high reaction time and like kind of an average firing accuracy. I don't know. What do we want to name Nikolai?
Well, I love the idea of preserving some of their nationality. That's something I try and do.
Mm-hmm. That's cool, yeah.
And actually, the new XCOM Enemy Unknown, again, the one releasing next month, preserves this by actually every soldier has like a flag.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, okay,
that's so cool. I think that's such an awesome touch.
That is really cool, yeah. It's a bit like Megaforce, the 1983 action movie that Hideo Kojima was most assuredly inspired by. Anyway,
I know I just said something about preserving his heritage, but my go-to name for any XCOM soldier is Carl Winslow.
All right, yeah.
I just love the narrative of Carl being called in from the Chicago police force
with a C, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
To defend.
Fantastic.
Defend the world. Yeah.
Yeah. They also have randomly generated hair colors and hairdos and ethnicities. So that's cool. You know, like they're doing their darndest. Wow, this guy has a tragically low firing accuracy.
He's our red shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. Calvin Nash is kind of a good Nash.
Yeah, I mean, ex-presidents are kind of a good template as well. I find.
Oh yeah. All right.
I'm fine with Gennady Paranoid.
How do you feel about saying?
Yeah, and then we've got the. Yeah, that's right. The Shoji twins. Let's assume they're twins. Yeah. See, at this point, yeah, like we've been printed on what they can do. Okay, yeah. It doesn't seem like we've got anybody with particularly exceptional stats. We don't have anybody with a firing accuracy of over 70, whatever. So, okay, yeah. I don't know. Like, let's not spend too much time messing with this. So, okay. All right. So here's other.
Put the game back.
Yes, definitely. Cool. Okay, so yeah, you can buy and sell stuff. Let's buy, like, I don't know. Soldiers come in so quickly that, like, let's just do that more based on attrition, and let's get a whole bunch more scientists. I think you start with a complement of 10 scientists, and we're gonna be pretty close. Yeah, that's our max living space. So two soldiers, 20 scientists. Scientists are like, you kind of buy them in bulk, you know? You just buy them in big Costco packs of scientists. And like really the more you have, the more of them you have banging on a research project, the quicker it's going to go. So that's cool. Okay, yeah, right. So we'll set those guys going. By the way, no time is passing here while you're in the base management screen, so this is all about... Okay, so I'm going to go to Equip Craft because...
Yeah, that is a terrifying thing about Geoscape mode of XCOM, is that it's real time.
Yeah,
it's just nerve-wracking to the extreme.
Yep, totally, yeah. And then the combat, you know, by contrast, is like turn-based but extremely tense.
Extremely tense.
So, yeah. So a base starts off with, and you might have seen these in the hangars, it has a Sky Ranger, which is a landing craft that carries soldiers to the sites of missions, and then it comes with 2 interceptors, which are really just fighter jet type craft that go out and shoot down UFOs, and then you land, and then you take the Sky Ranger there to intercept. So the outfit of the interceptors is just going to be like standard, kind of like conventional. You start off with entirely conventional weaponry. So yeah, we've got our soldiers loaded in this Sky Ranger. They'll go with it when it goes out, and then we've got, this is just the equipment that's being from our overall reserves that's being stored here. So here's what I do, and you guys should feel free to comment. I always like, let's take these pistols along, whatever. You give most people rifles, and here's something that I do. I always sell the heavy cannon and the autocannon right off the bat.
Really?
Yeah, because like I find that like they're really heavy. Like only characters with high strength or stamina or whatever can really carry them and have enough time units left over to use them. And I also find that they're just like there's some combination of inaccurate and not high damaging enough. Mm-hmm. So I just sell them and have everybody use rifles, even though rifles are garbage. Yeah. But hopefully you're getting on the research track quickly enough that you can start hitting people with better stuff. So yeah, I usually like go only pistols and rifles early, and then I take the rocket launcher along. Yeah, because the rocket launcher is actually very valuable. You know, it's like deal lots of damage to large things. And then take along some grenades, because sure, you never know. And then smoke grenades. And so this stuff that I'm taking off of the Sky Ranger, I'm actually going to go back to the sell screen now that they're out of the ship. That's just kind of a little UE quirk. And I'm going to go into the sell items stuff, and I'm going to sell all these things. Does anybody does anybody have like a really good reason not to do this stuff? Because I don't know, the heavy cannon, that's the other thing, is that like if the heavy cannon and the autocannon were like interesting or hilarious to use or something, I would use them, but they're kind of not really, like they're not represented in game in like a particularly exciting way. So I just assume like sell all these and take the cash, because pretty soon we're gonna have some sweet laser weapons and stuff to shoot at people. So that's cool. And yeah, sell off the smoke grenades, because those just fill an area with smoke, and that's not too useful. So now in the purchase screen, we've got, after our base construction and hiring some new scientists and stuff, we've got 1.2 million left of our initial startup money. And yeah, so one thing I'm going to buy is a full complement of stun rods for everybody. And
so this is what allows you to bring back aliens alive.
Yes, these are actually melee weapons. So you have to equip one of these and get right up close to an alien and stun it, which is frequently terrifying. I'm going to order some large rockets, which just have a bigger splash radius in case we like run into something really bad. Everything else. Oh yeah, and I'm going to take along some electro flares because there is a day-night cycle in this game, and sometimes you will find yourself doing night missions. And particularly early on, night missions are terrifying because you cannot see anything, and aliens are shooting you out of the dark. And even though these flares are like a pretty weak, way to fight that, I'm going to get some anyway. So okay, I ordered all of those, and now I'm actually going to let time pass. Let me save here. Yeah. So yeah. Now we have to actually wait for real time to pass, and of course it gives us ways of accelerating the flow of simulated time, and you can zoom in and out.
I just want to say this screen is another one that the first time I encountered it was just overwhelming, impossible to parse thing. Not because any of the interface elements are themselves inscrutable, but just because the totality of what you're presented with is so incredibly dense.
It's such classic PC game from the like mid to early 90s thing, because it's like, look at all this stuff, look at this like weird kind of non-standard 3D UE and all that kind of stuff. There's just an explosion of information. It's not hierarchized really well, like a modern game.
Nested.
Like we were talking over breakfast about Civ 5's like really good organization of information and choice tree and stuff, and it's like, no, they're just kind of shotgunning it into your face. And that's, and so hopefully, like seeing people navigate it will help people get started. Okay, so while we were waiting for time to pass for our cool new stuff to show up, we got our first UFO detected on radar, and that means that like there's a thing like actually flying around near us, and it gives us some information about it. If it's a very small craft, it's probably just going to be a one alien little like flying saucer scout craft, and then we can say either like ignore it or let's focus on it. And again, real time is passing, but we can say, okay, that's where that little red blip is where it is. So let's go and send an interceptor after it and see if we can shoot it down or just do whatever. So you'll notice that the day-night cycle has been doing its thing, and we're on the dark side of the planet right now. So it's nighttime over the Middle East here. And like it's not moving much right now, but if we turn the time scale up a little bit, we'll see these guys flying around and stuff. All right, and now the interceptor has caught up with the thing, and it's going into pursuit mode. We can get like this like visual thing of it, and yeah, that's just like the tiniest little alien craft possible. So we're shooting at it, and yes, and the craft outran our interceptor. There's like a whole bunch of choices in here, and they're all kind of hard to unpack while it's going on because it is real time, and the alien will just bug out if you mess around. But the basic options that we have in the pursuit interface are like how close we press the attack. If you can hang back and not press the attack very hard, in which case, let's zoom in a bit here. And it's giving us country names and international borders. These little biomes here, like the desert versus the mountains versus the forests and stuff, those are relevant to mission types, as we'll see. This little alien scout craft is giving us a merry chase all over the Central Asia.
Central Asia?
Well, yeah. Now it's over. Now it's over Europe. And so because we're using these like just fighter jets and stuff, this thing is kind of outrunning us, and you actually don't have like we've told the interceptor tracking lost. Okay, so that's like it fell outside of our radar's range, and so the interceptor lost track of it. It doesn't have it. We don't have it on radar anymore. So one thing, it gives you some choices here, any of which are valid depending on how much you care. So let's say go to last known UFO position, and that he's going to go to that orange blip, and it's like, okay, yeah, like what should I do now? I'm here. And so typically what I do here is if the interceptor has some fuel and stuff, that's another thing you have to keep track of the interceptor's fuel so that it can get back home. So let's select a new target, and here's what I do. Like I kind of extrapolate where the thing appeared to be going, and then I'll pick a new target, because even though I don't know that something will be there, sometimes the interceptor itself will be able to reestablish contact and see where this guy might have gone to. This is such a tiny little alien craft, though, that it's almost like, who cares? Let's just let this guy hang out here for a while, because alien craft do kind of like double back sometimes. And it's going to notify me when the interceptor is low enough on fuel that it needs to head back to base. So it's not like a huge worry, like craft running out of fuel or anything. Like it's not, okay, yeah, see it says low on fuel, returning to base. And then you can either say okay or okay and go to 5 seconds, which is the slowest time scale. Which is also, again, useful because, it puts you back in that assess the situation without too much time pressure mode. So yeah, our interceptor's heading back, and again, because that craft was like very small, like it's not going to be as interesting a mission, and like it's kind of small potatoes. Although we can't, we want to still be taking advantage of every opportunity we can here.
So how is that UFO negatively affecting us by escaping, essentially?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I guess UFO activity over countries, just period. Whether they're flying over, or especially if they're landing on the ground and just being on the ground and doing alien stuff, like just being creepy and doing cattle mutilations and stuff like that. Yeah, countries know about that, I guess, and they get displeased because they hear reports of alien activity in their country, and they're like, "Hey, XCOM didn't stop this. You didn't perform a successful mission," and so those countries are maybe a little bit less incentivized to do, to give us more funding in the future. So that's why you kind of have to always be closing. We got another like stop time notification here with some of the equipment, some but not all of the equipment. Oh yeah, this is the equipment but not the personnel. And so this is just like, our business lord here in the background. I love these
shady deal that's going on.
I love these background, and like all these like shadowy enforcer dudes and stuff. Yeah, it's just the background, like you get so much of the universe from like these background screens, because it's just like saying like, this is what these people look like.
Well, it's funny because you get
grave business.
It gives you the sense of almost like a sort of syndicate style world, but it's funny because
it
feels so much more extraneous to me in this game. Like
totally,
that stuff is just this weird extra layer that pops up sometimes, but it doesn't. I don't feel like it infuses every inch of the thing in the same way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's also just a much more generic future. It's like, okay, well, it's this kind of UN like Earth Defense Force kind of thing that's banding together.
It's also supposed to be very secretive.
That's right. Yeah, it is kind of a because it's not like open warfare against the aliens. Okay, so yes, 2 new soldiers have arrived. We've got a Franz, a Sergei, and we've got 20 scientists. Nice. They've got names, I guess. Damn it, I'm an idiot. I totally forgot. So now that we've got some of our scientists in, right from the get-go, like even with the 10 scientists that you start with, you really, really, really want to start researching laser weapons. These other 2 things, like medikits and motion scanners, are like, they do have some value to things, but the thing about a medikit is that you have to get over to somebody wounded in the field. Somebody, A, has to get shot and not die, which is kind of rare, and then B, you have to like get somebody over there and then equip the med kit and use it, and then that will heal their wounds. And it doesn't even necessarily save them from death, because sometimes their wounds might be too grave. The motion scanner is also kind of helpful, but it's like, yeah, there's aliens around, and you're much better off just like taking up sound tactical positions and kind of doing it that way. So for that reason, and laser weapons are like, the first like real the reason that I always go for laser weapons first is, for one, they're maybe higher strength than the conventional weapons you get, and B, they don't require ammo. It's like, I guess this is like, it's terrestrial tech. Like, we haven't fought any aliens yet or recovered any alien tech, but this is just like, something that in the far off world of 1999, it's like, oh yeah, laser weapons are theoretically possible. So we're gonna set that researching. And yeah, I really should have, like, we lost, 3 days worth of laser weapons research because I was busy gabbing. But yeah, and then once we've researched laser weapons, we can research specific laser weapons like the laser pistol and the laser rifle, and then we can manufacture those and hopefully, use them against the aliens and be less scrubby.
There's a guy in chat right now I want to point out who apparently is role-playing as one of the scientists in JP's
Fantastic! Fantastic, yeah.
It's Yo-Yoma Bones apparently is doing this.
Well, hey, good job. I hear that you completed this research project successfully. Let's view the reports. Okay, right. Laser weapons itself, like, it's just kind of like a tech tree node on the way to the concrete advance of laser pistol, which we will absolutely put all of our wonderful scientist people on. And here's another. You can see them in the background. It's like, oh yeah, look.
Well, there's a DNA helix back there.
Scientist people, yeah, they're looking at DNA helices. They have this tank of goo, I think. They have something kind of technical, like some alien machine-looking thing.
Yeah.
So, all right.
There's definitely science going on. I think we can agree on that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Also, there's something I want to point out about the new XCOM game that Firaxis is making. I don't know, Evan, how pervasive this is throughout the whole game experience, but definitely just playing the first few levels, it's pretty clear that they tried to bring in a lot of that weird, shadowy... The first thing you see in the game is the cheesiest fucking thing you've ever seen. It's like this dark, shadowy room with this guy half in shadow.
Greetings, Commander.
Oh, yeah.
This Council of Nations has
like
authorized the XCOM project.
And it's just the most, like, generic,
smoky
room.
It's totally covered in shadow.
Yeah, exactly. It's really
Secret
funny.
business. Okay, so yeah, we successfully researched laser pistol. Accuracy reflects that hitting things with gunfire in this game is garbage. But yeah, laser pistols are cool, and they're like a nice little sidearm. So
laser pistols are cool. JP LeBreton.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Confirmed video game developer.
And so now we can research the laser rifle.
Excellent.
Which is hopefully going to be our mainstay weapon for the early game here. And so we're gonna research. We're gonna start that researching, and now it says we can now produce laser pistol.
I want to point out, that our role-playing scientist says he got a couple publications out of this laser pistol research.
Yeah.
He's going to speak at a conference next week. His main contribution was designing the trigger and cooling system.
Yeah.
This guy's hard work.
I read the white paper, and I couldn't follow all of it, but it's fascinating stuff. And I got to say, good work. In addition to soldiers and scientists on the base, we also have engineers who can manufacture stuff. And we've only got very few of those, but before we've got our new living quarters built, it's kind of hard to justify getting a huge retinue of engineers. Research laser concealed carry permit. Absolutely, yeah. The legal, we're in dubious ethical territory here, So we've got these, So okay, we're gonna manufacture some laser pistols here. We're gonna allocate all 10 of our engineers, and we're going to produce 8 of these because that's the usual complement. But that's how many people fit in a Sky Ranger, and it's just kind of, I don't know. I use 8. Other people probably use more or less or something. But if I use more than 8, it just becomes like a big cumbersome, furball in combat a lot of times, and it's just that many more people to replace when they die, Grim view. And then we get a days and hours left. This is clearly sci-fi because engineers are able to give very concrete estimates on how long things will take. Although I guess this is manufacturing. So now we've got some laser weapons being built. Build those things. Let's go back into our base. Okay, yeah, we've got 18 days left on the large radar and 9 days left on our living quarters, so we can probably staff up as soon as that's done. Let's go back to time passing mode. Hopefully soon we will have researched laser rifle. Okay, here's another craft. It's small, which can either mean that it has 5 or 8 aliens in it. That's just something that you learn after doing enough of these. So let's center on it. Hopefully, it's really close to our base. So, okay, let's send an interceptor. So, yeah. No, don't run away. We totally want to shoot you down. Oh, yeah, is this going to be a desert mission?
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's that looks like a little 5-person craft. Alright, so yeah, we're shooting missiles. We're hitting it with cannons. Damaging it. Oh no, it's outrunning us, damn it! Okay, I'm gonna try to be a little tricky here and send out another interceptor after it, or maybe, I don't know. Yeah, because I really want to catch this guy.
Go for it.
Yeah, that other interceptor is just going to be a ways behind. Alright, let's give this other interceptor... It doesn't really do much good to have 2 interceptors on the tail of one craft. Oh, crap, it landed. Okay, so at this point... Alright, so that green thing, a green versus a red blip, means that the alien craft has landed on the ground and is doing creepy alien stuff.
Sorry, one more interjection from our scientist here. He just expressed surprise that there's soldiers here? I thought this was just a research base.
So, boy, are you in for a treat, Mr. Scientist.
The shades are coming off. The veil is.
Oh, fantastic! You were lured here with the promise of doing important research. You didn't sign up. Yeah, you didn't know that you were going to be part of the military-industrial complex. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we don't have any of our laser pistols manufactured yet. So unfortunately, we're just going to be sending these guys out with gear. So that green blip means that an alien craft has landed on the ground, and we can send a Sky Ranger out directly to just land and board it if we're quick enough here. Who knows what's going to happen? So. Alright, so I've got these people in the Sky Ranger. I've got it loaded up with our cool stuff. Let me save once more here. One thing this is one of those games, much like Thief and maybe Deus Ex or something. This game is a lot more fun if you don't save crawl through it, especially if you don't do mid-combat mission saves, because everything just feels a lot more consequential, and you're a lot more likely to just improvise and deal with the consequences of your actions. So I tend to only save in the geoscape, and like maybe right before a mission. So yeah, hopefully. So we've got these interceptors. Like they went to the thing's location, and they're just kind of like circling in the air above the alien thing. So if it tries to take off again, we'll hopefully have a chance of shooting it down. But otherwise, the Sky Ranger is going out to hopefully land on it. And thankfully, this doesn't look like it'll be a night mission because it's right in the middle of the day.
Great.
All right, sweet. We got there, and yes, we're going to begin this mission. And here's where it gets real. So yeah. It's a ground assault rather than a craft recovery because it's an undamaged craft. Okay, so now we go into definitely the least great part of the game's UI, which is the equip screen. So this is just the stuff that's sitting on the ground in the Sky Ranger craft, and then and then we've just got like slots and stuff. It's the sort of like pornographically detailed inventory interface screen that you would expect of a 90s PC game, where it's like, yeah, they got backpack and belt and all these. Just look at all those pouches that people have on their outfits, you can store a bunch of stuff in there. So yeah, because we don't have very fancy gear right now, and because it's not a night mission, we're just going to put a stun. Yeah, I guess if we captured somebody right now, they would die because we don't have our alien containment built yet.
Right.
JP Sniper.
That guy's hair is pretty good.
Yeah. He's got guile hair.
That puts that name in an entirely different context, I think.
I like to mention that haircut is actually preserved in the new version of the game as well.
Oh yes,
as a selectable haircut.
Right. Yeah. He's a guile. Okay, so yeah, and we don't have enough pistols for everybody, so everybody just gets I'm just kind of like equipping these. And then rocket launcher guy is in the back and he's got stuff. So yeah, and we're gonna leave those flares on the ground. Okay. Turn 1. All right, so it starts off, and here we are. Also, I'm going to save, not for cheese purposes, but just so that I don't have to do the inventory equip screen again, because I hate it. Okay, so yeah, this is the combat view, where you probably spend most of the game. So there's a whole bunch of hilarious buttons here that all just control what your troops are doing, and things like a map screen. And that's the end turn, go to next turn button. That's abort the mission, have the Sky Ranger take off, whether or not there's anybody in it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, alright. So, and then everything else is just kind of related to moving troops or cycling between troops and stuff like that. So, this battlefield is multi-level. So we can go down one level and up one level and stuff like that. And we see like the lowest level, the ground level. Then we can go up and all that, but we can't see much of the map right now because this game is all about line of sight. So right now, like, because we have like people inside of here and they're looking out here, we see in this narrow cone of vision ahead. Now the reason that we don't see much further in this direction is because this is the edge of the mission area. Like, this is a very, arbitrary game type thing, but we happen to land near the edge of a map, so that means that most of the mission area is going to be off in a particular direction. Now you can kind of tell generally, even though you can't see the rest of this, if you get a cursor that's showing this kind of thing, like the box thing, that means that that the map still exists this way, and then we move the cursor like up a little further this way, we don't get that, so that means that we're off a map edge. So I'm trying to determine here like where the map edges actually are. Okay, so it looks like we're kind of like, oh yeah, all right, so we don't get it here, so that means that the top right corner of the map is about here probably, and so like most of the action is going to be like to the south and maybe to the west.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm going to hit this button and focus on our people, and so all right, we're just going to like pile out of the Sky Ranger here, and you'll notice that I only took one step ahead, because like even one step in combat view is really consequential. And the main things are like you left click to move to a square, and then you right click to change your facing. So I'm right clicking here just in the direction that I want to turn to, and now she can see a whole bunch of new stuff. And there's like this grove of little fruit trees, and there's a little farm plot with a stone wall, and there's a field of wheat over there. This is the standard, by the way, this mission biome is like the standard rural biome, so there's going to be like small farmhouses and half-height walls and trees and stuff like that, and it's probably what a majority of the missions you'll do in the game are, and yeah, they'll kind of vary. So, alright, so yeah, I had her walk out of it, and she can't really see much more with that step. By the way, these mission areas are I want to say like semi-procedurally generated. It's a good, interesting kind of, you can really see it here. These individual tiles were authored, so like this, this really feels very board gamey when you're looking at it like this.
Yeah, for sure.
Like this is just a tile piece, and you'll never get a random map that's more granular than this. But every map, including like the terror missions and the cities and stuff like that, are just a patchwork of these different tiles. And while it seems like that could be kind of a limiting, like not actually very procedural feeling thing, it yields an incredible amount of diversity and stuff, because even because it's kind of like a tabletop war game or something like Warhammer 40k or something, where just like even just little changes in the battlefield make a huge difference and produce all kinds of really cool tactical variation. So if you're working on a small scale like procedural game and you're like frustrated that like World Gen is this really difficult thing to get really good content, consider XCOM's tile-based, like very large tile-based approach, because you can get some really good environments with it. And
absolutely. So we found our UFO.
So all right, so
Binding of Isaac is similar in that respect, actually.
Yes, right.
How each room is essentially authored. I think there might be slight variations, but each room is essentially authored, and what the game does when it generates a map is just assemble a bunch of those atomic rooms.
Yep.
And it creates, again, an incredible diversity of level structures.
Yeah. So we ventured this way a little bit, and we see the edge of something, which if you played the game before, you'll know that this is a UFO, like this distinctive silvery type thing. This is the edge of a UFO. It's probably about this big. It really only takes up like one tile. And so, but we don't have any assurance that the aliens are going to be in there, because they could be out wandering the fields, being creepy and stuff. So, like it's good. This is good to know. It's cool that we've got these buildings. These are like little farm buildings and stuff for cover. So we've got a few options here, and I'm open to requests here. We could just we could save our time units and just like keep I should back up. This green bar here is time units, and when we go to, you can click on this thing, and so normally this character has like 50-something time units, and we've exhausted just by getting out of the craft, turning, going like southeast a little bit. We've exhausted. We're down to 20 time units, and the expenditure of time units is just something that you kind of have to get a sense for over time. You learn to figure out like just how much a soldier can do within a time frame. So I could give this leave some time units on the clock for this person, or no, that's right. I don't think you can use spare time units. I don't think that figures into. I forget actually. Okay. Yeah, if I leave her, so it takes. Yeah, it takes 13 or 19. I think people snapshot when they react. So we take 13 time units here to do a snapshot. So does anybody know if I left her with 13 time units, she would take a snapshot if she passed her reaction check and stuff like that? I'm pretty sure.
I believe that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's one reason not to move people, is just to be able to keep time units in reserve and be able to take an opportunity shot, which is you might have actually gotten to do more stuff. Just to be hilarious here, this is something that I don't know. We're still using. Yeah, actually, I'm not going to do it. But one thing I could do here is I could shoot at the side of this barn, and that would destroy the walls here, or would potentially destroy. Maybe more if I had better weapons. It would destroy these wall tiles, and then I would be able to see inside. Mm-hmm. So that's a very common tactic, especially once you get laser weapons and stuff more powerful than that, is that this world is fully destructible. It's like an isometric tile-based, fully destructible world, and that is one of the amazing things about this game, because you can shoot a hole in the floor and jump down through it to a lower level, or you can shoot a hole in a wall and take shots at an alien through that new opening and stuff like that. So it's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to move a little further forward here, and one thing you can do to make yourself harder to hit during alien turns is you can crouch. That costs 4 time units, but I'm going to leave her with with these 14 time units left here. Okay, so I hit this thing which marks her as done for this turn, and I'm going to switch to another person up towards the front here. And so, early mission tactics when you're coming out of the Sky Ranger, I tend to, I try to get people to fan out. I tend to use the buddy system here and make sure that she's not the only person covering that entire line of view, so that if an alien pops out and kills her, somebody will at least be able to retaliate or see where the alien went off to, something like that. But yeah, in the early process, you're really just trying to map out the thing. You're trying to map out what all's in the mission area and where the aliens might be. Yeah, somebody in chat brings up that these 4 buttons here are reserve time unit buttons. Like, this just means, like, if I click over here, he will use up all of his time units in order to get there if need be.
Right.
And then these things are reserve enough for an aimed shot, I think. Yeah, so different. That's another thing. Yeah, like when you're shooting weapons, you can choose to expend different amounts of time units to take shots with different accuracy. And an aim shot, even though it's only 50% accurate, accuracy is really not great early on when you've got terrible weapons and rookie soldiers. But so yeah, I could expend a whopping 45 time units to get a shot that's pretty accurate, and then I could spend less to get a much less accurate shot, and then I could spend a little bit more than that to get 3 shots in rapid succession at extremely low accuracy. But at close range, that's actually really good. So auto shots and snapshots are almost always what I take, and I only take aim shots when I've got like either a really important target or somebody who's a really good marksman, or they've got a really good weapon, or I don't know, stuff like that. So yeah, I typically don't especially early on, I tend not to save enough for a snapshot, and that might actually be stupid, but yeah, because like at this point I'm just trying to it seems like a more worthy expenditure of time units to just be fanning out through the map and trying to running around and I don't know, just trying to discover everything. Okay, so yeah, I walked up to this window and looked into it, and now I can see this little farm room very clearly. It's got doors. Doors are a thing, you can open them and close them. Yeah, okay, so I kind of want to, even though this is a weird, precarious position, I kind of want to walk this guy over into this alleyway here so that I can see down it. So now I'm just seeing down this very narrow little column. I can kind of, yeah, so I'm just going to park him there because I'm fully expecting like an alien to wander out or something. I don't know. Yeah, okay. So, alright, I'm going to have more people come around. I'm going to have somebody back her up, kind of, I think. Or like, sometimes you'll also... Yeah, these guys aren't covering the exact same field of view, but again, I'm just trying to like claim as much map visibility as I can. This dark box here means that like we're seeing the dark side of a wall. Yeah, so this is another building. So we're actually, yeah, we've got a lot of these buildings here. So, and it looks like it's more open land out to the west. Okay, so yeah, let's just keep moving our dudes here. Yeah, your first turn, you're just going to be kind of like plopping people outside of. Plopping people out of the Sky Ranger. I'm spreading them out. One reason among many to spread them out a little bit more is that, especially later on, as the aliens get tougher, they're going to start using grenades. And if you have your people all bunched up around the Sky Ranger like this, aliens will just throw grenades here and frag like a lot of your people. So that's super bad, and it's one of the things that makes this game so brutal. But like for now, like I don't know, if an alien is so on the ball that he's like waiting right here with a grenade to lob into the middle of us, then I don't know, we just suck, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to walk this guy up here and have him take cover behind the tree. Then I'm going to tell him to face out this direction. I think like where you end, like when you end a turn, like where people are facing is probably one of the most tactically significant choices you can make within a turn, because that's like, if aliens walk by during the alien turn, you're going to spot them. And yeah, so I'm going to leave these guys up on the ramp, just because I don't want to get like everybody piled out all at once. And this is our guy with the rocket launcher in the back, bringing up the rear. Having the guy with the rocket launcher in the back isn't necessarily good, but that's kind of how the game UE sorts it to start with. Okay, so we've moved all of our guys. So I'm going to end turn, and maybe this is terrible. All right, so now the aliens get a turn, and we can't see what they're doing mostly. Oh, somebody came out. So that little guy is. Oh shit. Oh, okay. Welcome to XCOM. Yep. Yeah, so it looks like there were 2 sectoid type aliens that are just like the goofy little gray dudes. Okay.
Who we lose?
I'm not sure. Okay, so because the shot came from like roughly, it seems like these guys were out this way.
Yeah.
That alien opened that door. We can see that the door is still open, but the aliens, it looks like, vanished outside of our known field of view because we can't see anybody. So I'm going to face... Actually, yeah, one thing I want to do is I want to... Oh, okay. So I right-clicked to turn because I was going to move towards our fallen comrade here, but it interrupted the turn and put this little number up, which means that she just spotted an alien, and they always just stop what they're doing when they do that, which is kind of a cool, like, you're like freezing with terror at like, oh my god, that's an alien. So yeah, okay, so it's the dude. It's probably the little bastard that shot our buddy. So yeah, we've got some options at this point. His back is to us, so he's probably not going to turn and return, like, take like a reaction shot. So we could try to hit him from here. We could take a 20% accuracy snapshot, which is not that great. But yeah, so actually let me, like, you don't have to move all of your people one by one. So actually, oh yeah, all right. See, self-serving, glory-seeking behavior here. But I'm going to take JP Sniper here and see if I can, see if I can hit this little punk here. So I'm going to right-click from across the map here, and that will just turn him. It'll just kind of like figure out which of the 8 directions you can face.
I want to point out something real quick that someone in chat said. Life Noodles points out, I love the emergent story of the aliens landing and then hiding off to the side to ambush, even though the XCOM AI can't really do that intentionally.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
yep.
That's one of the great things about XCOM.
Yeah. When the mission started, it just kind of like randomly decides where to place them, and they probably placed them like inside buildings and stuff. And yeah, like this is just right. That's the thing about XCOM that's like really significant and of interest to game designers working today, is that so many mechanics in this game, intentionally or not, are kind of crafted to be like drama generating, and they have this like narrative resonance that really gets you crafting these stories, and like the fact that you have soldiers and they are very fragile, but they do grow over time and stuff like that. Like so many things in this game create this like story via mechanics that I think is just tremendously interesting and important for game designers nowadays to pay attention to. Because yeah, we've already got a little story happening, and this is like the first mission, and hardly anything interesting has happened yet. So, okay, so we got to figure out what to do about this alien. All right, we've got JP Sniper. We've got a pretty clear line of fire, and this is kind of a distance, and nobody's that good of a shot, but. What the hey, I'm going to like take, and this is another like personal style choice, is that I tend to take a much higher volume of shots, because like if even one of these auto shots hits him, it's probably going to do good, as opposed to one aim shot that could still go wild. Alright, so I'm going to shoot, I'm going to select auto shot and shoot. Alright, whiz.
Yes.
Okay. Oh shit.
JP, no!
Oh god. Okay, so all right. So what happened there is that even though that alien wasn't facing, I guess he had enough time units left over that when he got hit, he wasn't killed by the shot, and then he turned and returned fire, hit me, but did not kill me. So, and I'm saying me, because hilarious. Okay, so JP Sniper is in rough frickin' shape here because his hit points are like more than halved. He sustained 3 fatal wounds, which means that I'll lose health at the rate of 3 health points per turn. So, 13 divided by 3, do the math. He's only got a few turns to live. And this gray bar here means like that's kind of your unconsciousness meter. So so it's possible that he will pass out while still alive. So the outlook is not good for JP Sniper here. But that's kind of how that's life in the big city here.
Also, yeah. Hold on, real quick. Another interlude from our scientist. He just pointed out, he says, was just thinking today about my first patent. None of us ever dreamed we'd get to implement any of these ideas in the real world. And he linked to a patent from 1972, an actual patent from the United States Patent Office for laser machine gun simulation.
Fantastic! Oh my gosh, you are enhancing the canon of this, yeah. Yes, and as somebody in chat points out, yes, it's ironic somewhat that I was like, nah, med kits, they're such a pain to use, and then lo and behold, this hardly anonymous soldier is going to die because I didn't see fit to. But I don't know, I would have had to like research them and build them. JP Sniper was screwed from the start. He was never going to survive. Okay, I've got enough time units here where I can return fire and. I think it's had like a slightly deleterious effect on my accuracy here, but it's not that much. And I still have enough for an auto shot here, so I'm going to return fire and see if I can at least get a good revenge kill.
Nice,
yeah.
Nice. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
All right. Okay, so yeah, so even if JP Sniper dies, he will be
avenged.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Okay, so all right. So what I was doing with this lady was actually I wanted to turn over here and walk over to the ground. And now I'm standing over my buddy, And the reason that I wanted to do this is because I wanted to... So you can... First of all, your corpse is a thing, and you can equip it and throw it at aliens. You can put it in your backpack, all kinds of hilarious stuff. But the reason that I was doing it is because I wanted to see if when you click on it and it has like the name up here and it says corpse, that person is in fact dead. Whereas if they're unconscious, it still shows their name.
Right.
So that's another weird little like commentary of
on their identity.
Yeah, it's like once they're dead, they're like, nope, just
you gotta cut them out of your brain.
Exactly. Yeah. And I could also salvage their equipment or something, and you can do the same thing with aliens. So you can like pick up an alien corpse. There was one legendary game like that I played like back in high school or something in which I defeated an alien commander in an alien base by taking one of his underlings or something, and I was out of ammo for my heavy plasma, and everyone else was dead. And I defeated the alien commander by throwing the corpse of his underling at him, and that knocked him unconscious, which was the best possible thing that could have happened, because then I captured him and was able to interrogate him and get like one of the key research advances. So that's another amazing XCOM thing, So it has some, it has enough simulational fidelity to it to support a lot of this. It's like, yeah, this thing probably has a weight that contributes to encumbrance, and it has like, I can throw it, and just all these game systems that tie together to be able to create all this low-level expressivity and stuff. Okay, so whoever, I forget the guy's name, sorry buddy, but yeah, he's dead. But like we saw two aliens here, and one of them was probably heading off this way, I'm gonna guess. So we need to proceed pretty cautiously here.
Our scientist is celebrating, by the way, about the first successful field test of his research. Alien dead in 2 shots, complete success.
Well, I love how much we're already getting in this like the notion of internal and external narrative, where
totally
this guy's sort of expressing XCOM's nature to really let you fill in the gaps of what's happening in the background.
Yeah,
even what's happening in the mission. I mean, already because your character got shot, JP. Now he responded with kind of a heroic. Retaliation shot.
Yeah.
Now, even though the game is driven by math and probability, I'm sort of impressing this notion of your character as being lucky or like a martyr or something like that. That's his character. That's totally internal, It's
absolutely
just driven by what happened here.
Yep, totally, yeah.
And total luck, yeah.
Yeah, somebody from chat informs us that was Carl Nash. So,
oh, no.
So he was the guy who was destined to die. He was the guy that I commented on his mediocre accuracy. So
everything's going according to plan.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so even just taking a few steps this way, we saw 2 different aliens. So this is kind of bad because like this guy might not be paying attention, but this guy can definitely I don't know. Yeah, he can definitely see us, and I'm not sure what to do here. I don't know. I'm just gonna shoot like a maniac here because honestly, like being too cautious in these early missions makes the game a little more boring, and also is just kind of it's a little bit futile because. Guys are going to die. Attrition is going to be very high. You will be hosing out your Sky Ranger to make way for new troops.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to try to hit this guy with everything I've got. Oh, okay. So that guy was hit and presumably wounded, but did not return fire, thank God. So, okay. All right, we really need to do something about this guy. All right. Because I'm, inevitably protective of him, I'm going to move JP Sniper. Oh, I don't have enough time units to just...
Oh, dear.
Oh, wow. Okay, I can't get behind the wheel, I guess. Okay, so let's see if... Can Carl Winslow get a piece here? Can he lock and load?
Question.
Can he lock and load on some sectoids here? Okay, so this is an example of this guy can't necessarily see this alien, but we can still shoot at him. Now, this is a little bit dangerous because sometimes maybe this thing is maybe this wall is in his way. Probably not because it's waist height.
Right. And
maybe this tree is in his way or something. Again, probably not. But you can just give guys firing orders and they'll just kind of shoot through. And so you can take very high risk shots through your squad or something. But that's also what allows you to target the sides of buildings or just take shots in the dark that might do something. So yeah. All right, so let's just have Carl Winslow unload. Shot goes way wide.
He's getting warmed up.
Yeah.
Oh, I hit the apples.
Okay, yeah. Did he hit the tree? Yeah, see? Tree destroyed, became a sort of charred tree that probably doesn't block visibility as much. So we're just going to burn all of his time units trying to, shoot at this silly alien with our crappy-ass weapon.
Ooh.
Yes!
Oh, wow.
Good job, Carl Winslow.
Fantastic.
Okay, yeah, so, all right, so that's 2 aliens down. Yeah, all right. So we've still got some real problems here, because this jerk is still at large.
I really think like the low probability of shots to begin with is kind of an essential element of the game. I mean, because it's such like, I mean, think about gambling as a game concept. Like, it's such human nature to take games of chance and make it into a game of skill and sort of impress like fate upon it. Like, okay, I'm due to get hit. I missed the last 6 hits.
Yeah.
Last 6 shots. Yeah.
It kind of sets a good expectation too, because your guys are fragile and they can't take a punch.
Totally.
So you just like, it gets you divorced from this mindset of like being super precious with everybody and trying to be really, you know, like it's good to be careful, but okay. So this guy who has like he's one of the Shoji twins, and he's got pretty high accuracy, but he hit the side of that wall a whole bunch. So let's take another shot. He can't actually see the alien, which is probably like this is a pretty far range shot, especially for these primitive rifles that we're using here. So yeah, what I'm hoping is that okay, and then we've got our crazy rocket launcher guy who might be able to get off a shot, but I'm feeling a little nervous about that. So
yeah, you're in a sort of a position down here where even if some of the alien shots are missing, they have a chance to maybe indirectly hit some of your other squad mates.
And friendly fire with a rocket launcher is obviously super bad news. That can just wipe out your entire squad.
It's the worst news bears.
So we've got our eastern front here, and I'm going to take. It's good actually because this guy has a high reaction time, and just trying to suss out like if there's any. Yeah, we see more of the side of the alien craft, and so okay.
So you said there could be up to 8, and I think we've seen 4 sectoids.
Well,
2 dead, and then
I think we've only because I'm pretty sure the 2 guys that we saw during the alien turn were these 2, and they're dead now. But then we discovered a 3rd here, so there might only be 2 left. There might only be 2 unknowns.
Yeah.
And 3 surviving. Or there might be but there might be 8, which that would kind of suck. But yeah, this is like a little stable type building. I kind of want to, because this guy has good reactions, kind of want to just park him here. Every mission, you have like one or 2 troops who goes off on like this total time-wasting lark. And so I'm kind of tempted to like take her and move her through this door here and just kind of like check out all of these rooms in here. But that's probably a waste of time, because probably we would have heard or seen aliens passing through here during the alien turn.
Right.
So instead, I'm going to have her go and be buddies with Dimitri Paranoid or whoever. Alright, I'm going to have her go up here. Even though this is exhausting like all of her time units, I just want her to like be able to... And let's turn her to look in here. So yeah, we can see the stairs up to the higher level of the barn here, or whatever this building is. Yeah, that's another hilarious thing in this game, is that sometimes you'll just have snipers on the roof. There'll be like an alien who's just like chilling out here with a rifle, and that's a big problem. Because, you know, it's like snipers in any game, like just realizing where the fire is coming from is super terrifying. Okay, so yeah, that's right. Sumi here took her shots, and, well, yeah, she killed the other, you know, she avenged her buddy. So she's got 4 time units left, which is actually just enough to crouch. So I'm going to do that because in case this guy notices and takes a shot, she'll maybe be a little more likely to survive. JP Sniper can't do jack. Let's get Dieter down here and just, I don't know. See, that's another dangerous thing, is that, like, yeah, what kind of reactions? This guy doesn't have great reactions, but if... Oh, yeah, I really should have given this guy a pistol. Yeah, anybody who has a rocket launcher, you want to give him a sidearm, because, like, theoretically, this guy will take a snapshot with a rocket launcher if... So, yeah, and that would be very bad. So I kind of, like, yeah, I don't know what to do about this. I could have him face, like, the direction where he's least likely to kill anybody. Alright, so I'm just going to have him face that way. Oh, God, yeah. This could go spectacularly wrong. And, hey, you know what? If it does, stream drama, so yeah. Yeah, totally. Okay, so I've moved everybody, and let's just jump into the other turn, into the alien turn here. Oh, there's somebody. See, I don't even know where that was. I think that's something that I haven't...
Left of the UFO, I think.
Yeah.
Northwest.
Oh, that guy.
Okay.
Okay, so nobody shot at us, actually, so that's cool. Okay, so it looks like Home Slice in the field here is now within range of... All right, let's give Carl Winslow the chance to bag this fool. Pew, shot goes wide. All right, but he can see him now. Carl Winslow is just the destroyer of shrubbery. All right, so yeah. All right, who would be best to take a shot? You know what? She's crouching, and she can totally see this clown. So yeah. Sumi, why don't you see if you can? Yeah, she's got that wall to contend with. Nice.
Boom.
Right in the forehead. All right, sweet. Yeah, okay, good job. Wow, she's got 2 confirmed kills this mission, so that's pretty cool. Okay, does this guy have... Alright, JP Sniper is down to 10 health. He's got... which means he has 4 turns to live. It's a race against the clock.
How do you feel about putting a rocket into... I think it's just the wall southwest of you? Was it like that wall
this one right here? Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, so yeah, I remember from the alien turn that this wall... like, we saw an alien in here. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if he's still in this building or not. So yeah, let's totally do that. Alright, so... Let's see, 42 units for an aim shot, and I do kind of want to be accurate about this. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to take an aimed shot at the side of this building, and I don't think, because this is a small rocket, I don't think this will damage any of us. Famous last words and all, but yeah, okay, so I'm going to shoot, like... Yeah, alright. Alright, let's see what we can do to blow up in the side of this building. Kaboom! Boom! Alright, so yay, and did Sumi... Okay, yeah. Alright, so yeah, and you can see the splash radius it left, and it opened up the side of this building, and now there's smoke, the distinctive XCOM smoke effect. And yeah, and we don't see any little dudes in here, so I guess he's moved on. So, maybe Dieter, does Dieter have enough time to load another rocket into his rocket launcher? Not enough. Cool. Okay, so take a knee, Dieter. Just try to keep your head down, because we're pretty sure... Yeah, actually, I kind of want to have Sumi rotate, as dudes might be popping out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, so, alright, so we've got 3 down, 1 still known in this area. Yeah, okay, let's start angling people. Let's bring these people around on the...
Definitely.
On the flank here. I'm calling it a flank even though I know very little about real tactics or anything. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure, you know, for all we know, there could be an alien like right there, but it seems like this wing of things is clear. So actually, I'm gonna have Gennady Gennady just try to sprint for the edge of the alien craft here, because once you start getting close to an alien craft, there's a certain sort of protocol that takes over. The way into the alien craft is like this nondescript little hatch-looking thing. So I can infer, kind of from looking at all of this, that it's because it's not on this side, the entrance to the alien craft is going to be here. So ultimately, we'll want to bring a whole bunch of our people, well, at least like, you know, kind of a SWAT team door kicker type squad around to this part of it. And then, like, you know, and you have people stack up on the door, and one person goes in, and you pray that you don't get shot in the face by everyone. Okay, so yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to write off this building here because I haven't heard any or seen any activity from it. So let's just have Sumi go up and join her bro here. And yeah. Okay, so she'll probably, yeah, she'll come around in the next turn, and yeah, and hopefully she has enough. Yeah, she has enough for a snapshot, just in case. Well, we've got 2 Sumis, don't we? Okay. 13. Okay, so I could take an auto shot and still have enough time left for a snapshot, I think. So let me do that, and just for giggles, I'm gonna shoot the side of this building, and that's how we see why rifles are crap, because like this conventional ballistic rifle just didn't even dent this barn wall. So okay, so yeah, I was hoping to knock a hole in there and see if there was an alien in there, because my spidey senses are kind of suggesting that he's either there or by the alien craft. All right, Jungo. Let's be a little more aggressive on this front here, and yeah. All right. Let's just bring this guy up. Like, the wheels of the Sky Ranger are partial cover, kind of. Oh crap.
Oh dear.
Oh,
he's right there.
Okay, so yeah, dude was just chilling right by the door. That guy. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if, I don't know if Sumi has a clear shot. Sumi might, yeah, it seems like Sumi will be shooting through this wall here, but I don't know. Why the hell not? Oh, okay, so yeah, she hit the ground like right in front of him. Okay, this is kind of a balls situation. Okay, I don't think Carl Winslow can realistically. There's way too many friendlies in front of him to.
Yeah.
All right, so let's have him come up, So yeah, I think this is the west edge of this map. So I'm gonna guess, like even though this hedge wall is really occluding stuff here, I'm kind of gonna guess that there's not too much other action in this area. The distribution of aliens, like they're usually not clustered up. They're usually kind of spread out. All right, I possibly stupidly used all of Carl's time units here. All right, can I take a shot at this fool? All right, let's do it. Might as well. Nice,
nice, oh,
nice. All right,
sniper.
Yeah. All right.
On the brink of death.
Yeah. Holding his guts in with one hand, shooting with the other. Okay, so all right, so yeah, let's go to the alien turn. So potentially we only have one more alien running around here.
This is going well, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going relatively well. We've only lost one guy. Okay, so I'm really curious as to what's on the other side of, as to what's on the far side of the UFO here. So let's get him over here, even if we're being a little reckless. All right, and we turn. Okay, so that's the entrance to the alien craft, and I definitely want to leave him with enough time units to shoot in case somebody sticks their head out. Have her come up behind. She's probably not going to be able to. Yeah. Okay. So we're down by the corner of the map here. So now we've got like this idea of the extents of the map. It's not that big. It looks like it's a 4x4 tile map. They can vary. They can get like much larger. Okay. So yeah. There's a decent chance that the last dude is in that UFO.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right, so let's put another rocket in, or maybe we shouldn't. Let's wait before we put another rocket in, just to reduce the chances of snapshot team kill hilarity. All right, so let's move her up. All right, so I could either have her pop around this corner, or I could have her wait like that. All right, I'm increasingly feeling like there's nothing over here. I want to be cautious all the same. So let's move these guys over here. And I don't know, what's a better direction to face? Yeah. It's interesting because you're kind of making predictions about your confidence in safety of the different areas of the map. It's always felt a little bit like when I started playing Go, like it sort of felt a little like XCOM, because it's like I feel strong in this area, I have influence, but that strength could, be killed with a sharp attack. And just thinking about like these very vague, like hard to quantify area notions of influence and stuff.
People want you to loot Carl's body.
Oh, Carl's. Oh, okay. What would I? Oh, yeah, I could. Yeah, let's have my rocket launcher guy.
Pistol.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. Imagine him dramatically racking the pistol as he picks it up. This time it's personal. Okay, yeah, and honestly, like his rifle and I don't know, yeah, it doesn't really need any of that other stuff. And so, yeah, you can kind of here's a XCOM UE quirk. You can see that he's kind of holding this two-handed weapon in like his tiny little graphic. That means that like this is the last thing that I selected. So I'm actually going to switch. I'm going to click on this and then right-click to abort. And now you can see that he's holding a different weapon, which means that now if he takes a snapshot, it will be with the pistol and not the rocket. So that's good. Now I don't have to worry about him. Yeah.
Yep.
And now, I guess it takes more than 11 time units to stick a new rocket in. But that's fine. This guy's, he's kind of, he's our big gun in the back. So, okay. So I think that's about everybody. I could move JP Sniper up a little more aggressively. Why the hell not? Let's just be a little crazy here. Hanging around in the smoke, by the way, will cause your unconsciousness hit points to go, like, meter to go up, so I'm helping JP Sniper pass out here, probably. But such is life. Okay. And yeah, and there's Jungo. Let's just get him in a slightly safer position here. Alright, I kind of want to get on to next turn here, so let's just do that.
Yeah, this is all reinforcing that final enemy's got to be in the last the last UFO. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, JP Sniper passes out, but he's like, if we can beat the game, if we can beat this mission this turn or next turn, maybe I forget how many, then we can still, like, he'll be taken.
He'll be alive.
Yeah, he'll still be alive, and he'll recover in the hospital and stuff like that. So that's kind of an interesting mechanic because it's like, well, if I want to keep that guy, I'm kind of incentivized to hurry. But hurrying can get you killed very easily, so That's kind of cool. All right, so at this point, we're at the entrance to the alien craft. Now, there's two ways we could do this. I've got like 2 people here, and that's probably enough. If there's only one stupid alien in there, that's probably enough to, like, these 2 guys can probably deal with it. But if there's more, then that will probably be really bad. Okay, yeah. So let me just finish, because I feel like this is kind of where the action isn't. Yeah, this all seems pretty safe now. So let's just burn some of Carl's time units here and just get him. I don't know. There's sort of like a, it's kind of like the mowing the lawn, just exploring everywhere you can, just so that you can, kind of be certain that it's not going to be a danger area anymore. Okay, and we're moving Jungo into this farm building here. This one little farm building layout gets like so much mileage. It's like this, I don't know, nice mixture of like open tactical space and with windows and lots of doors which are tense, and yeah. Okay, so actually, because the alien ship is really feeling like where we want to go, burning time units always a bad idea. Yeah, probably. Yeah, my style is kind of I'm probably just reckless. I'm probably just a danger. All right, so I kind of want to just make everybody converge on the alien craft here, just in case something terrible goes down. I can quickly and decisively mop up. All right, so the big question here is, like, this guy has 34 time units left. That's plenty for an auto shot. She has 31. So I could either burst in and take an auto shot and hope that I can kill the one alien who might be in here, and then that would be the end of the mission. Or if that auto shot fails to kill him or whatever, this guy will almost certainly be shot in retaliation, and then we've got this weird situation where she can, I don't know if she has enough time to come in and mop up, I don't know. So we can either play it cautiously or not. I kind of want to like wait another turn so that I can go in here with full time units, these 2 coming in for like a little bit more backup. So yeah. We'll probably be talking less in future missions too, just because like we're explaining all these particulars, so we're hitting our stride here, I think. Okay. All right, so I'm not even going to move these other dudes here because we want to find out what happens. Open. Oh, holy crap! God! All right, so these dudes are having a party. All right, so at this point, it's possible that if I tried to just leave and if I tried to turn and walk away,
shoot in the back.
That I will just get shot in the back by one of these happy gentlemen.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So, all right. So I think my best bet, honestly, is to just Pulp Fiction this shit and start and just come out shooting. Yeah. So all right. So this is bad news. Also, wait a minute.
Do you have a grenade?
Yeah, I could have somebody here prime a grenade. Yeah, should Sumi just... Now, see, the tactical trade-off... God, so many good decisions! Such a good game design. Because this is an alien craft that landed, it was not shot down, the Illyrium power source for this thing, which is this hilarious doohickey here, is intact. Which means that if we pull this off, and we don't damage any part of the alien ship, then we will get all of that Illyrium as salvage, and Illyrium is one of the few resources in the game that you cannot manufacture. It's like the most precious thing, because you need it to do all your late game stuff, and the more Illyrium you can build up. So if I use a grenade, if I throw a grenade in there, it might frag all of these guys, but it might damage the Illyrium, and that would be like just, dynamiting a bunch of gold.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
I think we got to see what your lead guy, Mr. Paranoid, does first.
Yeah, all right. So let's
based on his success rate, maybe we can make a decision.
Let's see how forfeit his life is. This is a hilarious thing. I could try to do an auto shot at this guy, hoping that one shot will hit, 1 or 2 shots will hit this guy, and then the third will hit this guy.
Yep.
It's also possible that it will kill all 3 of them and then kill the Illyrium. Who knows? So yeah, all right. Let's just do this. Bam, bam. What? What? Okay. All right. Okay. So this guy got shot over this guy's shoulder somehow. Yeah, this guy got hit with another shot but did not die. This guy shot back at like point blank. Yeah, he is also kind of hurt now, but he, like, unless he takes another shot, which is kind of likely. All right, so at this point, I don't know, we could have him try to take another shot. I'm kind of assuming that this guy has a shot in him. We might get shot if we try to flee, but that might be the right move. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think Gennady is our martyr in this case.
Okay, yeah. He's a brave. Yep. All right, dude. Be a hero. Okay, so now here's another. Like, do you think if I targeted him, do you think it would shots might hit him? Because also I noticed that this guy has a plasma pistol, whereas this guy probably has a plasma rifle or even heavy plasma, and I'm a lot more afraid of this guy. So I don't know.
Well, it's not perfectly diagonal, but I would go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Bam. Oh, nice.
Oh man, nice.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic. Right. Okay. So I think I have just enough. Do I have enough time units to turn and step out of the way?
6.
Because I've that's probably my best bet, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, does it take 4 time units? It's going to take 2 time units to turn this way and then this way, and then it'll take 4 to go here.
I think so.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Oh wow.
All right. Sweet. Okay. So now Sumi can come in, and at this point I could no. Yeah. I don't want to risk it. All right. So she might get shot if I step here. Nope. All right.
Wow.
Oh man.
And
this is turning out amazingly well.
Yeah. This is pretty. Bam.
Wow.
Oh man.
Oh,
nice.
Geez.
And I just put a few rounds into the corpse of that alien. Okay, so let's count the bodies at this point. That is unconscious JP. That is dead alien. Dead. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shit, does that mean that there's still an alien at large here?
Well, did we count? What's that white marker to the north? Oh, right next. That's our other.
That's that's Carl Nash. Yeah. That's unconscious JP. That little thing is the Illyrium power source, and then there's 3 dead.
6 dead. Total.
It's possible. The hilarious thing about the Illyrium thing here is that there could be a guy hiding behind this chair or something. So that would be frickin' amazing. And honestly, I kind of want to discover that if it's going to be the case. So let's just, I don't know. I hate the idea of. Okay, yeah, this is really not seeming like. Damn it! So does that mean that there's another dude out here?
I don't know. Maybe on the far left side.
Yeah,
we didn't scout this room at all.
Yeah, we didn't. Okay, is there going to be a door? How can I get into this building? I guess I could just walk all the way around. Let's do that.
Yeah. Send Carl.
Yeah. So yeah, this is classic XCOM. Something that you thought was going to be the center of the
the climax.
And if you thought an area was dead, then maybe it becomes, it has and that's a criticism of XCOM that I think is pretty addressable. But in missions like this, finding that last alien can become kind of a bug hunt.
I'll kill the last alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things the new game does to mitigate this is actually sound waves. You'll hear sound waves in the distance.
Nice.
Sort of indicate a radar direction almost. Of,
cool.
Alien. A pack of aliens are in this direction generally, so it gives you a hint, but they can also move around from that point.
That's awesome. Yeah, and during the hidden movement screen, I don't know if you can hear on the stream, but you can hear sounds.
Yeah.
So you'll hear alien footsteps, doors opening, gunfire, screaming, whatever. Okay, so I'm pretty stumped here. Should we have Jungo go up to the roof?
Yeah.
Let's do that, yeah. That's fun. Okay, so we'll have him walk up the stairs. The whole interface for getting up stairs and stuff is a little awkward, but it's alright. Okay, and yeah, he's out of time units, but I could walk him over to a window and have him try to see out over this stuff. But going straight up to the roof is probably a good bet. Let's have Sumi 2 here just walk into this tactically significant orchard. It's oh yeah, this is a total. Okay. Oh, you have enough time units to turn. Okay. All right. So pretty sure it is still possible that there is some dick cowering behind this seat or something, and we'll find out soon enough. But yeah, I don't know. All right, let's just move Dieter up here. Yeah, well, I honestly have no idea where that guy could be.
Yeah, surprising that he hasn't moved out by now.
I know, yeah. Usually, because aliens are generally on the move a lot.
Yeah.
So, I feel like we would have heard from this guy. It's also possible that, you have to listen for the sound it makes when an alien goes down, because aliens can go unconscious too, and then sometimes they will get up and just be wandering around, oftentimes without their weapons. And so there'll just be like some unconscious guy that you thought was dead that's come back alive, and he's just like hanging out by your Sky Ranger or something. It's like, what are you doing?
Get away from there.
Oh wait.
Oh, great.
Oh yeah. Oh, so there was an unconscious alien, but we wouldn't have finished the mission if he was conscious.
Right.
But I guess one of the guys that we shot down fell unconscious instead of died. So that was all, I think that was only 7 aliens. I guess we can see like how many corpses we recovered. So yay.
Yeah.
Hell yes. So it says rating okay, but we actually did really well because we recovered Illyrium. Oh, we probably, because we got one guy killed. Oh yeah, and I guess that means JP survived because only one guy died.
Great.
So yeah, it gives you a score here, and I think this is part of like your country affiliation, like depending on how well you do, and if you just do disastrously, then that sucks. But yeah, so we recovered everything from that UFO. So this is really valuable. And somebody, I think it was the Sumi who got 2 kills, got promoted to sergeant, which I think is just like the ranks. I don't know if they mean much, but they kind of, because everybody else becomes a squatty pretty quickly, and then just 1 or 2 people rise in the ranks. So yeah.
Let's real quickly reintroduce ourselves and what we're doing for people who have joined the stream after we started. It looks like our viewer count has gone up a bit. So I'm Chris Remo. I work at Double Fine with JP LeBreton right here, and Evan Lahti is also here. He's the executive editor at PC Gamer, and I am part of a podcast called Idle Thumbs. We talk about video games every week. We often do these Saturday morning streams, and these 2 guys are buddies of ours, and they come on our streams sometimes and show cool video games. Right now we're showing the original XCOM from 1994, I believe. There's a new XCOM coming out by Firaxis, the company that made Civilization. It seems pretty cool. Hopefully we'll stream that at some point in the future when it's out. But for now, we are playing the old brutal-ass XCOM game.
Not so brutal so far, but yeah. Sergeant Evan's girlfriend. Good, yeah.
Outstanding.
Cool, yeah. Okay, so, alright. Everything went great. In real time, I'm going to save because that went pretty well.
Yeah, that was heroic.
Yeah. And yeah, so let's wait for our Sky Ranger to get back in. Everybody's coming home. Craft actually have to refuel. That takes real time. The Sky Ranger's slower than Interceptors. Yeah. So, okay. Alright, so let's go to our soldiers here. Yeah. Oh, 2 people. Yeah, that's right. 2 people are wounded, which means that they will be out of active duty. Yeah, it's going to take Gennady. I don't know how you pronounce that name, actually. It's going to take him 13 days to recover, and it's going to take JP Sniper 44 days to recover from his grave wounds.
Wow.
So that's another great, story resonant kind of thing, where it's like, this guy was wounded, and he was, laid up for 6 weeks, and then he came back with, as you get, there's little shaded parts of people's stats here. There's a slight blue addition to this guy's firing accuracy, and that's that's stat growth. Like, if you successfully complete missions and get kills, I think it's based on kills, your stats will increase. So yeah, some people didn't. Yeah. It looks like a lot of people got kills. So.
I want to just give a quick update from our in-world scientist here. He says, the boss just gave a speech to the whole research team. Seems like a decent guy. JP is his name. I'm not sure who those 2 shadowy guys in sunglasses and trench coats were behind him. So that's what's going on here in the base on the ground.
Yeah, good, yeah. Thanks for the base update. Okay, so yeah, it's good that we ordered these 2 soldiers because we're going to need them to kind of, fill in for these 2 wounded soldiers.
Yeah.
Okay, so, so let's, on that note, let's add these guys to the Sky Ranger, because wounded people are off duty. And yeah, so those things are refueling and stuff. Now let's go to the sell screen, because we've got some stuff to sell. So we don't want to sell any of our Illyrium, even though you do get money for it. It's gold and it's irreplaceable. So it looks like we recovered some plasma weapons, heavy plasma, rifle, pistol. Those are all good. We can use those, but we have to research them first. So they'll kind of be like a later game thing after we've kind of tapped out laser weapons. We got an alien grenade. There were 7 sectoid corpses. So yeah, I guess it's 5 or 7. I feel like I've seen 8 before on small craft, but anyway. So yeah, there were. So yeah, I'm gonna sell It's hilarious. I don't know who you're selling these to. I assume eBay. But I'm going to sell all but one of the sectoid corpses because they're pretty good money for salvage and stuff. But I'm going to keep one so that we can autopsy it, which I forget what material benefit that does, but I don't know. It's cool. You get to flesh out your UFOpedia. I'm going to hold on to all this other stuff. Actually, no. You know what I'm going to do? I don't... See, okay, here's like later game strategy. I tend to move straight from laser rifles to equipping everybody with heavy plasma, because by the mid to late game, I'm netting enough salvage that I have enough heavy plasma ammo that I'm able to just, and like heavy plasmas are so devastating and so accurate, they're just really good weapons. And so I don't even bother with plasma rifles and plasma pistols. And because you get so much money for these, I'm going to sell all but one of these so that I can research them, because I'm going to need to research plasma rifles and pistols before I can research heavy plasma. So that's the dealie, and it looks like we've built one laser pistol. Not going to sell that. We've got alien alloys, which we can use to research personal armor. And yeah, how's our research progress going? Unknown. Who knows?
In terms of selling, one of the things that XCOM and the Unknown, again, this is the game from Firaxis coming out next month, does that I like is, like, there's a gray market, just kind of the same menu that you can sell things on, but there's also sort of these random pop-ups where Canada will request sectoid corpses, and it's sort of like this micro mission where if you have these resources within, say, 30 days, you can sell them for either money or more scientists or some benefit. It gives a little bit of context, like a medical research company is really interested in these, advancing its technology with corpses or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Somebody in chat says that my base layout is bad. There's a whole kind of min-maxi thing that you can read about on UFOpedia and other type strategy things, in which you can scrap this initial base layout, because it is sort of unwieldy for certain things, and then rebuild hangars and stuff. And I don't know, it's I'm not deep into the strategy foo, but honestly, for this first base, I tend to, I don't know, I just kind of start glomming stuff on. But and as we'll see hopefully later, the base layout does become significant in a different way.
We're also probably not playing for a multi-day campaign right now.
Yeah, it's true. Alright, so right now all we're doing is just letting time pass so that our manufacturing and research projects can come to fruition, our soldiers can heal, whatever, and because there's no UFOs to shoot down and missions to do. This is one of the big reasons to get large radar going as soon as possible, because our radar range is relatively small and there could be aliens out there flying around all over the place for all we know.
JP, somebody's asking you, why do you know so much about XCOM?
I play it semi-regularly, once a year or so I'll get into it and play it some more. It's just kind of this evergreen game for me. I don't know that much, compared to, there are strategy lords out there who, understand about, proper base layouts and just all these crazy, awesome tactics and stuff, so you should read up on that if you're interested. But I just have, kind of a, I've been playing this game since it came out, but I'm not really an expert. I know enough to...
You're an enthusiast.
Yeah. Damn, we're just getting nothing for missions here, but that's fine because we're probably... Yeah, we got some of our laser guns made. 8 days. Yeah. Still a ways to go on the wound recovery. Enjoy the scintillating geoscape theme. I do love that this emulates that that the default sound card for the DOSBox build of this game is the Sound Blaster / AdLib, so you're getting this good FM synth music.
Someone in chat says this game seems way too complex to have come out when it did. I just want to remark on that for a second, because I grew up playing PC games exclusively. I didn't have consoles growing up as a kid, and this game is fairly complex compared to a lot of games, but it's actually was pretty common back in the 80s to early 90s for PC games intended for general audiences, as opposed to super hardcore flight sims or things that were intended specifically for enthusiasts of a particular subject matter. It was pretty common for games like this to be fairly complex. Even a game like TIE Fighter, which is a lot easier than XCOM, still has a level of complexity in its systems that it exposes to the player that you would just never see in a mainstream mass audience game released in 2012. Especially not one based on a movie license. And so it was actually pretty common back back at that time period to release very complex games that surface a lot of their complexity on the PC.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's one reason that I'm just so pleased that the Firaxis XCOM is happening, because it's like, yeah, a turn-based game. It's going to be released on console. You know, it's like, I don't know. I'm really pleased that because I think turn-based games are a pretty okay. So, let me save again, just because it seemed like we passed a lot of game time there. Okay, so we shut down a craft. But it's going to be nighttime by the time we get there. That's okay. Let's do a night mission. Sure. Do I have? Okay, these guys are still wounded. Okay, cool. We've got 6 of our laser pistols, so that means that we can actually phase out all but 1 of our normal pistols. That's cool. Let's definitely take along the electro flares because we're doing a night mission. Yay! And it will probably be the middle of the night by the time we get there. So the reason that there's this time urgency is that eventually that crash site will disappear from the map. Like if I wait like, I don't know, 20 to something hours, it'll go away, and the countries get really pissed when you do that. Because it basically means that you shot down a UFO and we're like, whatever, let's just assume all those aliens died. It's probably fine, right? Maybe they've taken up new jobs and identities. They're working at a Taco Bell. Okay, so yeah, now we're going to a crash site. So now we're going to find a destroyed alien craft, but aside from it being partially destroyed, it's going to be much the same as what we ran into before. This is the get pumped screen. Exercise caution. Alright, so yeah, back into the... Yeah, okay, so, yeah, now we've got these dealies. Was our alien containment finished? I don't think it was. So it would be pointless to do the... To give people the stun rods. Okay, let's give somebody who... Yeah, let's give Carl Winslow the rocket launcher. Just because that's a sentence that I like, and also just cuz, yeah, and then okay, and we'll make sure that he has a sidearm. Good. Oh yeah, I'm gonna give everybody. What's the best thing to put the electro flares on? Does it take fewer? I think it takes fewer time units to pull something off of your belt. So that's where I'm gonna put these flares, because I fully expect people to be needing these. Yeah, you can also get incendiary rockets, which cause a bunch of smoke and fire and are also good for lighting up night missions, which is a little Apocalypse Now, but gotta love it. Okay, so yeah, everybody has a weapon, etc. Everybody's got some flares, good. Okay, and as you can see, it's much darker out. I'm gonna save, save here just... Okay, so, yeah, it's super dark. It looks like... Okay, we're once again on the north edge of a map. Are we in a corner? Not really.
Seems like we're more in the middle, perhaps.
Yeah, so we're on the north central edge. Okay, so let's have Sergeant Sumi come out. It's a bit risky, because like the first person out of the Sky Ranger definitely has a higher chance of being shot at. And I think one of the ways in which rank is relevant to people is that morale... Yeah, people have this morale thing, and like once morale gets low enough, based on their bravery stat, they will break and panic and like just either drop their weapons or run around, or go into a frenzy and start shooting randomly. So that's hilarious, and that's another thing that can happen in this game. And yeah, if your sergeant dies, your morale goes down by a lot more, I think, because Sarge is dead, etc. So yeah, I want to be like really cautious here. I'm probably not even being cautious enough.
People keep telling you to look out the side of the Sky Ranger.
Out the side? Like, out the... well, because you can... let's see. I always do this, but... I don't know if that's what they mean. Yeah, so let's drop down here. Oh wait, I want him to have his laser pistol out. Just in case.
People are saying it has windows.
Oh, does it really?
Is it the front cockpit, or...
Oh, huh.
People are saying you can just look out the side of it.
Yeah, well, but see, I don't seem to just be discovering... Well, maybe I did. Actually, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Dude, what? I never knew that.
Looks pretty opaque to me.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I think it's probably because like most things are visually represented in this game. Wow, hilarious.
Oh no, our scientist. Arg, my arm is on fire. Send help. I'm completely on fire. Session ends.
Oh no. Okay, let's... Oh god, yeah. Okay, so at this point, oh man, I'm kind of not doing this quite so good, but all right, I'm gonna equip a flare. One thing I should have done is I should have equipped all of these people. I should have started the people at the front of the Sky Ranger with flares in their hands, so that I wouldn't have had to waste time units just like doing all this stuff. But yeah, now I've done this, and I'm going to throw a flare out in the direction of something that I want to see better. Unable to throw here. Is that because the wing of the Sky Ranger is blocking us? Unable to throw here. Well, damn. How about here? Oh, come on, you're killing me here. Yeah. Can we throw here? Dude, what's up? Okay, so it's only going to take me 13 time units. Okay, so let's see if I can throw now. So I'm just trying to throw this out towards a patch of darkness so that I can see. Yay! Okay. Alright, so now we can see a little bit better. And that kind of situational awareness is a godsend. Alright. Yeah, I really should have done that with this guy as well. F it. Oh, it looks like the alien craft is this way, so let's definitely... I don't know, like get something over here. Oh, I can't throw here. Is this because I'm like too far under the Sky Ranger?
I think so.
Oh shit. Yeah, misclicking in this game is a little... that's something that I assume the Firaxis thing has done a much better post-1994 job with, is that, like... Because you'll misclick, and there's no undo. Like, undo would kind of undermine some of the fundamental mechanics of this game.
Yeah, preserve that.
I'm able to throw here. I don't know why it's... I don't know if this is because it's outside of my throw range. No, apparently not. I think it's just because it was occluded. Like, I think the wings of the Sky Ranger occlude... Okay, so that's cool. There's some cabbages, and this is a larger alien craft, by the way. It has, like, this plus shape. So, and sometimes these have like fewer dudes in them. Sometimes they'll only have 5. Sometimes they're all in there. You know, so it's a mix. All right, let's move this back to him. Cool. All right, let's just dump everybody out of the Sky Ranger. Doop. Once again, I feel like going around here the long way through this farmhouse is not going to be too worthwhile. Okay, so I think the way this is probably going to go is, yeah, we'll probably send some people around to the right side of the thing here, and then we'll have some other people come up along the left side. And
it's absurd that there are night missions in this game. I mean, it's not new knowledge. Obviously, this game obviously has night missions, but like, this is the tensest goddamn game imaginable already.
Yeah.
And the fact that the
do this at night. Yeah, it's not tense enough.
It makes me so. I find XCOM a really difficult game to play, not because it's hard, which it is. Like, that's absolutely a property of XCOM. It's incredibly hard, but because it stresses me out so much, even when nothing's going wrong.
Yeah.
It's so incredibly stressful. I really have to get myself in the right mind space. I mean, it's a little bit different when you're streaming and, like, you have 300 people in chat, like, laughing at shit and it's fun, but, like, just playing this game on your own is incredibly stress-inducing. Or maybe I'm just particularly affected by that.
It takes a while, because, like, I don't find it that stressful because I'm not having to divide my attention a whole bunch, and that's usually what stresses me out. That's one reason that I think turn-based games are great, and there needs to be a renaissance of them because like there's just not the time pressure that I think is a real barrier to entry for not hardcore gamers, obviously, but you know, just like being able to take your time and think about stuff is just really awesome. It puts you into this really different mood and mindset, and I just really appreciate that.
I think there is something of a renaissance of turn-based games right now.
Frozen
Synapse made a big splash.
Yeah, totally.
Civ 5 made a big splash. Those are, one of them is a sequel to a long-standing genre or a series. The other one is a totally new game. There's a bunch of turn-based stuff going on mobile devices and mobile and like formerly handheld and now
totally.
Mobile. The game Obsidian just announced is going to be turn-based RPG.
There's a lot of stuff going on in turn-based right now, I feel like.
All right, I'm stupidly going into... I've got my guys really bunched up here, so I always expect a grenade to come out of nowhere, but nope.
People are calling out Galciv 2 in chat, another good one.
Yep. Sure. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, like, turn-based games are also, like, adventure games, in that they never really did go away, despite, you know...
they just have less of the...
Wisdom to the contrary, it's like, they just... But yeah, I want to see more indie turn-based games because I think a lot of like cool smaller scale things. And again, like Frozen Synapse, amazing and stuff. So
I guess we should mention Xenonauts, which is a sort of even more loyal.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
independent, bringing back of this version of XCOM by some guys over in the UK, I guess. Mm-hmm. They ran a Kickstarter a month or two ago, and I think their version of the game's coming out next year.
Also, I'm pretty sure Julian Gollop has made a few. He made a Rebel Star game a few years ago.
Yeah, there was Rebel Star Tactical Command for the Game Boy Advance, which is weird. There was Laser Squad Nemesis, which I forget if that was Julian or just other people associated with it. Laser Squad Nemesis was like play by email, which is hilarious, and kind of like simultaneous turn based. So there's been a whole bunch of different variations and like spiritual successors to XCOM that kind of move around. Yeah, many of them failed, and then because XCOM has been a game that has been very frequently imitated, but
absolutely,
but imitated kind of like imperfectly, and that's not a dig at any of the devs who were doing it.
No, but it's true.
They were just trying to deconstruct like what made this game so good and important.
I feel like,
and it's
there are a few games that are like that are really well known and have been pretty successful, but have just been unable to be replicated. And I feel like The Sims is the other major example of that. The Sims is a game that's phenomenally influential and important and successful, but nobody has done it. Since nobody other than Maxis has done it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I feel like that's part of the reason for Axis is kind of the perfect group to rebuild this game. Partly because Sid Meier was one of the co-founders of Microprose, the original creators, but they get sort of this intricate board game style design of how to animate units and make them expressive, but still capture the pace and bringing something kind of static to life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because that is something that and it's funny because the Microprose actually brought all the theme on top of what Julian Gollop was doing. Like the whole kind of narrative structure of XCOM was something that Microprose introduced in the development of this game, and that's something that I think is sometimes undervalued. In games like these,
definitely,
is how much they just, even though the theme of this game is pretty cheesy in a lot of ways, and it's by no means kind of envelope pushing sci-fi. It all works really well as a piece.
Yeah,
and that's something that's pretty hard to achieve.
Yeah, that graphic, by the way, right there is like just so. It's on the one hand, it is sort of it's like this kind of hilarious Image Comics style illustration and stuff. But it is like it's helping build up that aesthetic. I think they realized that making a turn-based game, I don't know, just figuring out what kind of aesthetic boundaries they can color in and make it a little more textured and interesting than just something super. Okay, so it looks like we're on a bigger map this time.
The artwork reminds me a lot of the artwork from Beneath the Steel Sky, which was released right around the same time.
That's true. I never made that connection.
Adventure game, and that was all comic book illustrated. It had a lot of very similar.
Yeah.
Like when you put that kind of '90s era comic artwork into like a 320 by 200 resolution screen, it creates a really distinctive look to it.
Oh man, I didn't save enough to throw these flares. Okay, so I've been playing a little bit sloppily here just because I'm talking and thinking and stuff. But
it's tough when you have no information. We've had no contacts yet. So.
Yeah, we are absolutely in the dark. We can see from this smoke that's coming out of the craft that it is definitely more damaged than it was last time. Craft gets shot down with varying states of damage. So if it were really damaged, there would be a big hole in the roof of this thing, and smoke would be pouring out. So it's probably smoky and stuff inside there. Also, you get a random number of aliens that are just dead. They died in the crash. So we could be dealing with as few as one alien here, which would be cool, but probably also means that the craft is so messed up that we wouldn't get much salvage. So trade-offs, whatever. And that was a really dumb move on my part. I wasted a bunch of time units, but whatevs. I'm
just going to reiterate how much I love the fact that they're representing the loot in the world. And that it's just as equally destructible as anything else.
Yep. Yeah, totally. Yeah, like theoretically, I could shoot one of those flares and make it go out or something, or I'm pretty sure you can shoot somebody unconscious on the ground and kill them, which is dark, but that's if you're okay. Good. That is the edge.
Greg Brown in chat brings up an interesting topic. How much of games' successes and failures back in the day were by accident? It seems like these games have a really unique...
bunch.
Yeah, I know. It seems like
how much
games have a really
is that true now too?
So it's hard to replicate without a decade of perspective.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really good
when I said no dig at people who have tried to replicate this game, I meant it because Doom is another game that, like, in some ways people did, like, the entire first-person shooter genre came about with people trying to replicate it, but the actual, like, specific magic of Doom's design and, less its aesthetics, but its design is something that, I've ranted about at great length and stuff, but yeah, and, like, nobody's like, even id, like, kind of trying to replicate it, even with Quake and so forth, like, it's, the pH of certain kinds of games, just, like, getting all of those weird little touches right in a way that, I don't know, just makes it, I don't know, yeah. It's hard to put into words because, it's a whole bunch of, like, low-level design things combined with, the atmosphere and stuff like that.
Yeah, speaking of XCOM spin-offs, I noticed we have Dan Tabor, who's any developers are firing. The aliens are firing. Is that right?
No, I was firing my laser pistol at this fence so that I could walk through it without having to... Oh, shit.
Oh, dear.
Shit.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's bad. So, yeah. So I fired a hole in... I fired a hole in this alien... In this fence just so that I could walk through it and get a little closer. And, yeah, like, I should have scouted this with flares a little better because shots came out of the darkness and... Was that my...
I'm not sure.
Was that my sergeant? Yes, it was.
Oh, dear.
That's bad news. And she screamed, and I'm pretty sure she's dead because I think I heard a scream when she went down, and scream equals dead, and no scream equals unconscious.
Oh, my.
So that frickin' sucks. Okay, so, alright. Because we know that these shots came from this direction, let's do this. Oh shit, do I not have enough?
Only have 9.
Oh god, yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, this is bad news. Okay, how much does... damn it, yeah, okay.
Wow.
Yep, that one turn of not paying attention and stuff probably screwed me.
Assume he has some time units to work with, but no flare.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yep, okay.
But yeah, I just want to mention... we actually have the Creative Cortex command, which is a delightful indie game about to release on Steam. It's sort of like a real-time Metal Slug, sandboxy 2D side-scroller. But Dan Tabor, the creator, is in chat there as Data01. Was mentioning that the game is heavily influenced by XCOM.
I'm sorry, what game are you talking about right now?
It's called
Cortex Command.
Oh, Cortex Command.
Yeah.
It was at PAX.
Yeah, really pleased to hear that that's finally coming out because I know it's been in development. For a while, and yeah, awesome. But yeah, you were going to say.
Oh yeah, I mean one of its small innovations, I guess, is like destructible terrain, but it's sort of cross section style 2D. So if you fire a missile at the ground, that could become sort of this bunker, homemade bunker for you. And it has like really intricate physics for a 2D game, a pixel based game. Encouraging you guys to check it out. I think their website is datarealms.com. That's the developer. Oh, I got a flare going over the... Yeah, so
I burned the very last of Sumi's time units to loot a flare off of the body of her sergeant. Yep. And throw it out there, but didn't actually... I don't know, yeah, like... Let's see where we are on the overall map of things here. So that we're pretty close to the south edge of the map here, I think. So yeah, they're out there. And yeah, that's the edge right there, so that's probably the last tile. Okay, so yeah, she's potentially a sitting duck. All right, I think we've milked this turn for all we can.
Oh boy, crossing my fingers.
All right, I heard an alien ship door opening sound, so that means that somebody went into or out of. Oh, and now this guy can see somebody. Okay, so that's probably the bastard who shot Sarge. So okay, who's got the best chance of popping?
I assume you might hit the fence there, maybe.
Yeah, the fences are higher than the stone walls. Let's just give it a shot here. It's weird that she can't... Oh, no line of fire. Oh, okay, yeah, so I guess the fence really is blocking her line of sight. So that means that this... Okay, yeah, all right. All right, let's just take this shot and see what we can do.
Oh,
nice!
Goodness.
Good shot. What's going to happen? Good.
I gotta say, like, okay, the travel time of the bullet there is really significant to me because what it creates is uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if that effect was just immediate, like you saw. You saw.
You can set it to be immediate. Like I think they implemented this just because computers had different amounts of megahertz that changed the gameplay experience wildly here.
Totally.
But yeah, the default fire speed, like really, yeah. I'm sorry.
No. It's sort of like this slow developing. You know, it's sort of like a Polaroid effect where you see it traveling, you think it's on target, you think it's the right trajectory, and then it hits or it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just sort of juggling this dice roll in your mind and like visualizing that and having time associated with that is really significant, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so so this is the entrance to the craft. Yeah, I don't have time to get him over into full stack up. Actually, I can get this guy over here.
So is that a door right there? Yes, it is.
Yes.
Great.
All right, so face that, even though I won't be able to do anything with it. Okay. Jeez.
At this point, I mean, you might just want to eliminate the alien craft and use it for cover almost and work your way around. Because it seems like that's sort of the anchor at the bottom of the map.
Yeah. All right, so it's possible that I'm not using these flares very effectively. Like, okay, yeah, that got us a little bit of visibility. And I can't block there. Okay, so yeah, for all we know, like everybody's, all the remaining aliens are still inside. And I think that's kind of meaning that this this wing is going to be kind of the dead space, but you never know. Okay, and there's a stone wall. Okay, I'm going to attempt to shoot through this fence here. Damn it.